What's up, everybody?
What's up, man? We're live here on the Foxing Around podcast. I'm your host, Raymond Fox.
I'm your co-host, River Thomas. We are at a undisclosed location on Turtle Island. This is the studio.
Hey, welcome, everybody, man. We're just hanging out here, just waiting for our guests to come in. We're just chilling for a little bit. What's going on, man? You want to shout anybody out real quick?
Who's there? Dylan Cardsy?
Yeah, shout out D Cards, man. Shout out Jason Chiquita. Shout out Solomon Trimble, man. People have been helping us out getting this kind of like set up, getting our sound a little bit better, getting our green screen proper, kind of just helping us out all along the way. So we're super happy to have like a very good team behind us, man.
Yeah, for real. Shout out Xander. He's always making sure you guys are on your best behavior in the comments there. So shout out him. Shout out Sean Netmaker too. He's been working hard at us. He helped us put up this green screen. The green screen fell down about a couple days ago, and we didn't have a green screen. So Sean came in clutch, and he made sure the studio is up and ready to go.
Word, for sure. Our season got canceled, so that kind of sucks, man. The ACAC decided that they were going to cancel the winter season, so there's going to be no sports for us. So we're going to have a hell of a lot more time to do some podcasts, do some stuff, man. It sucks, bro. I don't know if you want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best news to hear, man, but like, from the beginning, I kind of knew it was coming, just because like, you look at the NBA example and the NHL, right? Like they almost didn't have a season, and they got hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to spend just for them to get a bubble, for them to make sure they're isolated, and they almost didn't have their season, and they went through with it. But like in terms of us, we're a college league. We can't be put in one bubble, right? And there's like too many variables that are uncontrollable for us to make sure that we have like a safe season going forward. So like something is prone to happen. We're at the second wave of the pandemic. Things are getting like tough, and like this second wave, there's already like record cases that were like beyond the first wave. So this ain't going anywhere. It's just gonna stay for a bit.
Right. Yeah, it's tough too, because obviously we have to come out and move away from home to be out here so that we can train, so that we can play our sports and still go to school. And it's just not happening this time around. So we're kind of a little bit upset about it, but we'll keep moving forward, bro. What are you gonna do like to like keep in shape, even though there's no season, or keep your like mindset to keep working and keep improving? Because it's gonna be hard. Like it's gonna be hard for all of us to try to improve while we're in lockdown, while we're in COVID, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so we actually talked about that with my coach. Yeah. Shout out Ryan Marsden again. He's a real one. But we were at a standstill when we found out that the season got canceled, and we're like, well, what should we do, right? And we're sitting there, and we're like, whatever. They're like, this is really nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like, for one example, there's some of us who are going to be returning, and there's some of us who are going to be like leaving, right? And we said, whatever, let's just give it our all. As a college, we chose to keep going forward with practice. We're still going to practice 4 to 5 times a week. Now we're going to have a little bit more focus on working out as well, though. So opposed to our 2 mandatory workouts a week now, I think we're going with 3. So we're going to be working out a lot more. Yeah. And the whole structure of what our practice was based around for the year kind of changed in terms of like back then we would be training to play a new team every single weekend. So that week we would base basically like on how their offense runs, how their defense runs, that what we would do. But now we don't have to worry about that, right? So our coach can coach us to a lot more individual reps, stuff that we have to work on personally, and like a lot more individual stuff in terms of tactical stuff, like opposed to tactical stuff. So I'm really excited regardless. Like, who cares if I don't play the volleyball this year, but like in a league, but I'm still going to get like super, super good reps. I'm still going to compete. And honestly, this everything regarding this is like all a mindset, bro. It's all a mindset. We're still gonna push, and if you're getting down, then like that's kind of on you if you let the season upset you that much, because luckily we can still practice, we can still become better next season. Regardless of what I do, I know I'm going to be a lot better than I am currently, just based on all the work I'm going to put in.
Oh yeah, bro. And that's the thing too, man. Is like I feel like I'm a little bit frustrated because I can't be playing and I can't be doing too much sports wise, man. Speaking of sports, bro, how about our guests, bro? Like when you think of like people that are just head and shoulders above people, you know, like they have that drive, they have that mentality, they have that just work ethic, man. And you see them up there, and you see somebody that's an Indigenous person that's got that, man. It's few and far in between, man. It's super exciting to see. It's super exciting to know, and I mean, it's cool how like he like incorporates res ball into playing at like a professional level. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, bro.
Mad dudes out there like trying to break ankles and like going at people and like, you know, flexing a little bit, but still staying humble about it, man. I got nothing but respect for Mike Link, man.
For real. And like when you talk about like head and shoulders over people, man, bro, that guy gets up.
Hell yeah, man. We gotta know. I want to know if he dunks, man. We gotta figure this out. But without further ado, I think he's ready to go, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Foxing Around podcast. We got Mr. Michael Linklater here, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey,
what's up, fellas?
Hey, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good. I just got back from the gym, and I was loving the huge snowfall we got here. So, I'm a fan of winter. So,
hey, that's good. That's good, bro. What you been up to lately, bro? Like you getting in the gym at all, or like playing ball, focused on other stuff?
Yeah, you know, my son he's 16 and he wants to get serious about basketball now. All my kids, like I've never pushed them to play basketball. I've always let them decide whatever they wanted to do, and I've always supported them. My girls have been in dance. My son's played soccer, and just you know, my 16-year-old, my son Amari, he got into skateboarding. Very passionate about it. Did it for quite a few years, and now he's getting, you know, the hunger for basketball because he's starting to think about the next level. So I've never pushed it on him, and he's come back to the game, and you know, he's the one that actually kind of got me back into it. Like I walked away last year, and I was happy to step away from the game because I had played so long. So my son's really the one who got me back into the gym and just a ball in my hand. So him and I are training. He gets me up at 6:00 each morning, and we go 7 days a week.
Damn. Yeah, that must be like looking in a mirror or something like that. Hey, he's got the same drive, same hunger, same mentality. That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of just tell everybody like what you do as like a basketball player? You know, like is it more of a job, or is it more of like a lifestyle, a little bit of both? Like how do you incorporate basketball into who you are?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, long story short, I picked up the basketball when I was 12 years old, and there was a freshly paved basketball court in Saskatoon in my elementary school. I went to kind of the inner city of Saskatoon, one of the core neighborhood schools, and you know, there wasn't really much for us to do. And so picking up the basketball was something that, you know, led me to live the life I have and take me to the places that I went to. So just very grateful for a lot of the opportunities that were presented to me, and just always wanting to be better, you know, be better. And of course, we always talk about how beneficial sport is and how that transfers over into life. And it's the same thing that applies. And I appreciate, you know, the comments that you guys have mentioned in terms of, you know, what you said about kind of shoulder above everyone else. Like I don't look at it that way. Honestly, I see myself, you know, just right alongside everybody else. I don't see myself as better than anyone. When it comes to competing and all of that stuff, I just take my preparation a lot more serious than some other people, which is reflected in terms of the games and, you know, the outcomes of some of the the games that I've played or the sports or whatnot. So I definitely don't see myself like that. I used to be able to get up. I think the last two summers ago was the last time I dunked. So
Hey.
I've put on a little bit of COVID weight. So being retired, not running as much anymore, but basketball has always been a part of my life. And I was fortunate enough to play for the U of S. We won a national championship my 5th year there. I was team captain, so made school history. It was awesome. And then my last hurrah with the Rattlers was fortunate enough to win a championship there. And a lot of people see me and they call me the basketball guy. And it's funny because 2 of my buddies, so I'm sure you guys know Patrick Mitzwing, brother of mine.
Yeah.
He gets mistaken for me and I get mistaken for him. So people are like, you went to Mount Royal, huh? And I'm like, yeah. And then they say, man, I saw you play volleyball. I was like, you used to jump so high, your braid would be flying. And I was like, yeah, I never played volleyball ever in high school. And then my other buddy's TikTok famous now, James Jones. So
yeah.
I got, I was with my daughter at the park. And someone came up to me and was like, hey, are you the guy on TikTok? I was like, no. And then people go up to him. He was telling me and say, are you the basketball guy? So, that's funny.
Hey.
Yeah, bro, it happens. Yeah, so speaking like how you got up in a while, like I obviously saw you dunk on that N7 commercial. That was pretty dope. Was that's Venice Beach, right? Venice Beach.
On Venice Beach, and I will disclaim, like, in no way am I trying to BS anyone. It was a little bit lower, and it was just a slight bend, but I mean, still.
Bro, for sure, man. I actually watch a lot of your workout vids. I see you working out with Willie Murdoch. If you want to talk about Willie Murdoch, for sure, I see you working out with Robin, the guy who is Sage Strong, and it's very inspirational. Like, you guys, honestly, you're like in better shape than like 95% of dudes out there right now, and like you guys still look like you're in your prime, and like I'm still in my like early 20s, right? And it's very inspiring because I know with like everything you guys went to from like Willie playing in the G League and all your accomplishments that you guys still give it your all in the gym. And I feel like after seeing that at your age, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. For sure. Growing up playing ball, Willie was a mentor of mine, and he's just a specimen. And I know a lot of people around here in Saskatoon or Saskatchewan, Indian country, know because he comes out to some of the tournaments, whether he's reffing or playing. Just a great guy. But seeing him play when I was growing up was something that motivated me. And so seeing people doing certain things was something that I wanted to aspire to be. And so throughout my basketball career, just like you guys are university athletes, so there's a season, then there's an off season. And so the way I took it is I would prepare hard preseason or prior to preseason, then you'd be in shape for the season. And then for me, I would just allow myself to just be done. Like I would give myself the permission to not do anything, recover, and just let myself go essentially. And so actually looking back on photos, I realized that, I'd be in great shape and then I would be in like terrible shape. And so the spike in that wasn't very healthy. And now later, like in the latter part of my life, or now that my career is done, I think about life a lot more than I have ever done in the past. And the way I look at it, and it was something when I was in my first year post-secondary when I was in the States, that the way we take care of our bodies really all depends on us, and taking care of ourselves holistically, mind, body, spirit, our emotions, we have to keep those in check. And when we look at our body as a vessel, we only have one shot at this life and we only get one body. So how do you want to take care of it? And, how long do you want it to last? And so that's something that I've done. And I've just, now that I'm done playing, I still incorporate that mentality into my training. And that's something that drives me. And when I used to play, it's a mentality thing in terms of the way you want to approach things. And, just stepping more further into that, I always looked at it where everybody kind of has a threshold, or they have a breaking point, or a point where they tell themselves or their body says, you know what, this is enough here. And for me, I always wanted to get to that point where I started to get tired, or where everybody would quit or want to quit, and I would see how much further I could push myself. And I was actually listening to somebody who shared Arnold. He was talking about a guy who was doing sit-ups or something. And someone asked him, how many sit-ups can you do? And he says, I don't know. He goes, but he said that he would start counting when it started to hurt. And that was something also too that I learned within yoga, is a yoga pose never truly starts until you're ready to come out of it. So it has a lot to do with our mind and the mindset and the way we go about life. And we could get into all of that stuff in terms of manifestation and the way we think about things. And that's just something for me that I've always had. So yeah, just it don't matter what age you are, as long as you just start somewhere. And for people who are listening right now that are like, oh, I could never train that hard or whatever, you don't need to train that hard. All you need to do is just start setting a habit. You get up at whatever, or find a time that works best for you in the day and stick to that time, and just go for 5 to 15 minutes, and then just start developing that habit and do what you can.
Yeah, bro. Man, so talk to us a little bit about, like, because your legend lives pretty big in Saskatoon, and especially like at the White Buff. Like you're the king of White Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is like, I feel like that's where, and I don't know, maybe you could kind of tell us, but maybe some of your basketball inspiration, or like when you're grinding, or when you're trying to when you're playing on the bigger stages, do you kind of go back to that place of, you know what I mean, like the res ball and the competitive nature of that situation, and apply it to where you're at a little bit? Or how does that?
Yeah, again, it's the mentality. Like, both of you guys can relate because you both play sports. So when it's sometimes you get frustrated or you get angry and you grit your teeth and you just go after it. And that's the same mentality that I've taken. And playing at White Buffalo, for example, when I was there, you have to win in order to stay on the court. So the whole court, winners keeps, right? So for me, moving into that stage where you go into, I guess, tournament mode, when you're playing in a tournament, you want to make sure that you're, doing what you can to win that game so you can get to the next one. So that mentality for sure has always been there in terms of taking that. But honestly, the way when I go to White Buffalo, or when I had in the latter part of my career, and actually throughout my career, I always found it important to always give back, or help seeing someone young up and coming, and just give them those tips or those tools where they may not have had that opportunity, or the same, opportunities that I've had. So anytime that I can give them something to think about or to better themselves, that's kind of what I really enjoy when I go back there. And when we talk about the big stage and playing on the World Tour, or for Team Canada at the World Cup, honestly, the way I look at it is, I'm happy to have those experiences, but, I'm still just, Nahil, Creed, a little snotty nosed kid, fuzzy braid running around 20th Street. That's who I am, and so the people who saw me or knew me then, and like you guys too, that's what's important to me in keeping those, staying grounded, knowing where we come from.
For sure, bro. I think probably, like, I mean, you got accomplishments, like up and down. You could talk about the basketball. You could talk about the community service. There's so many different avenues that you've been like brought up to and kind of put on a pedestal, which you totally 100% deserve. Talk to us a little bit about the Tom Longboat like national award, because that's once a year. That's one person, and like that's pretty much the biggest award as an Indigenous athlete you can win. Like, what was that feeling like, and the ceremony, and just kind of the whole rundown of it?
Yeah, it was special to me to be able to win that. But I mean, with any award, I'm always grateful, and I'm very humbled to be recognized. And I think what awards do for us is they're signs of encouragement to let you know that you're on the right path and you're being recognized for all the hard work that you're doing. When I went out to receive the award, I brought my moms with me, And so they came out, and it was just a great experience. And again, but my mom, she says, my mom's won a numerous amount of awards throughout her lifetime. And she always says, and this is her words, and it's just crazy. She goes, "They're just awards." And that's what she says. And the way I look at it, and when she says that, I can appreciate what she means by that, because what's most important is the work that you're doing. So for anybody who's been recognized for something, sure, you get that recognition, but it's really important for you to continue on the work and the path that you're on.
Hey, for sure, bro. I know, like, after you retired, like, I play soccer. We were on a team together for co-ed, man. Talk to us a little bit what it's like getting into new sport, like, because you're in this basketball mode and you're always like basketball, like world tour here, I gotta train here, and then kind of taking a step back from that and being like, I'm ready to like try different sports and kind of like, I don't know if you have fun at it, or is it still like a competitive kind of, like, do you get into competitive nature? How does it work?
Yeah, man. I've always it's just a part of who I am in terms of being competitive. I always want to compete, and to be quite frank with you guys, I hate sucking at anything. So I want to be better. So, but the thing is honestly, like, I worked so hard in basketball to become the best player I could become, where there's not as many, because Saskatchewan is not necessarily known as a big basketball province or city. So it's hard to, stay competitive here, and I don't want to say stay hungry, but more so find like really solid runs where you're being challenged on the daily, and it's not just the same one or two people. So to have that challenge to go and get my butt kicked by soccer players like you, volleyball players, get spiked on, those are the things that I enjoy, because one, it brings me into a different group of people, and also two, it's a new skill set to develop. So I love challenging myself in all aspects of life and figuring out, what are things that I can do better. And so for me, just enjoying, those cross sports. I picked up hockey a couple of years. Well, actually, it's been quite a few years ago. But as an adult, I had to take a learn to skate class, because I used to skate like I was running. So I wasn't going anywhere, but I was moving my legs fast. So I had to take a learn to skate class. So I was up at 6 o'clock every morning on Fridays and doing some like skating. Figured it out. I started out in E division. And then I was able to work my way up all the way to A division and playing with some really good guys in a tough league. And it was just the challenge of getting there. In no way was I able to stick handle or play at the level they could, but in terms of the skating and the speed to be able to be on there, it was a lot of fun. And same thing with soccer. Just I don't have the touch, I don't have the thing, but the drive and the will to be competitive and to get better is something that I have.
Yeah, exactly, man. And like, that's that grind mindset. And like, I personally relate to that as well, right? Like, there's, I feel like you're saying, like, we only have one body, one vessel. And like, there's so much in life that I want to do that I haven't done already. Right. And so like, I constantly want to learn new sports, just like you. I love learning all the time, because like, the way I look at it is like, I kind of want to be like a jack of all trades, but really like not a master of none. And then I'll be able to like teach my children, when I have children, like those skills. And one thing one observation I noticed is that like First Nations kids, they're like always so talented at like multiple sports all the time. Like it's like, I don't know, I guess it's just like learning at a young age to like run, to throw stuff, getting chased around, doing all that stuff as a kid. And I feel like that's the most important part of us like growing, right? Is that when it comes to brain development, you're the most I guess impressionable between when you're like, I think it's in your adolescence years, and that's when you have to learn. And like, that's that really, really big window to learn about the most sports, for sure. And like, going back, I guess, to, since we're talking about like everything now and what you're doing now, do you mind taking us back to like how it started your sports and just like different sports, and even like talk in terms of sobriety, because I know that you made a pact to become sober, which is very, very cool.
Yeah. When I was in elementary school here and I picked up the basketball, I saw some of my older friends who were much more like better than me in terms of basketball players. And I looked up to them, but I noticed that they already in elementary school, which is really not uncommon amongst our people, where we have a lot of kids that really do struggle. You know, my friends were not, you know, we're no different. So what I saw after the basketball court stuff, you know, I saw them, you know, smoking cigarettes, you know, they were even drinking at that age and even smoking weed. And I recognized that over the years, like I was starting to catch up to them and get better. And I was making that correlation to, you know, addictions. And I also recognized that, you know, our people have struggled with alcoholism and addictions, you know, well, since the day it's come to this continent, even pre residential schools. So for our ancestors to really suffer, like through the buffalo trade or the whiskey trade, you know, our ancestors were given a bottle of whiskey or barrels of whiskey for, you know, huge piles of buffalo fur, you know, and that was something I learned in one of my post-secondary classes. So, you know, understanding that and growing up in Saskatoon, hearing people say, you know, all Indians are drunks, you know, that was something that I couldn't defend because I didn't know anybody, regardless of their ancestry, who had never drank before. So when I was in grade 6, I made that decision to myself, and I made it to the creator, not knowing. But what I wanted was for future generations, any kid, to whoever heard that term ever again or heard that stereotype, would be able to say, no, I know somebody. Because growing up, I didn't know many people, or actually I didn't know any. But as I started to get older, I started to meet more and more Indigenous people who have abstained from drugs and alcohol. And it's really good to see. And for people that do drink casually or occasionally or whatever, you know, or have their own things, like I don't judge, like that's not on me to say, you know, it's right or wrong. It's just a decision that I made for myself. So yeah, I've abstained from drugs and alcohol my entire life. I've never tasted a drop of alcohol or experimented with any type of drug. And I recognize that, you know, the importance of that. And when we talk about a healthy lifestyle and being an athlete, you know, I'm playing at the professional level, seeing my teammates who were phenomenal, like far superior than I in terms of just being gifted with genetics, how much the night before when they would drink, you know, and if we had a game, really how much it affected them. So I know it's pretty big. You know, we've all been to tournaments, and, you know, we go out and socialize, and, you know, those teams that are going hard, you know, the night before the finals are the ones that are usually losing. So.
Word. Speaking of that, tournaments, man, like Resball, talk to me about what Resball, because a lot of people do know, but some people don't know. Like it's basically like it's a tournament, but it's also a style, but it's also like a mindset. Talk to us a little bit about Resball and what it is. Yeah,
Resball it's just a different thing. You have people who have, like, I guess backing up to, you know, what you had mentioned earlier. You mentioned that, you know, there's so many gifted athletes in Indian country, Indigenous country. Like, we have a lot of these kids, and I got a chance to present to the Canadian Olympic Committee, and I was presenting to all of the national team directors, so all of the national sport organizations, and I was telling them, I said, all of you need to recognize that you are missing out on the biggest diamond mine in Canada, and it's on every single First Nation. Every single First Nation has future Olympians. They're just sitting there waiting for the right resources and the right support. What happens to these kids who are just naturally gifted? They get to a certain point, and then there's no support, there's no resources for them, and then that's where they stay or they take a dive down. So if we can provide those kids, which is what I was telling them, provide them with that opportunity, you know, they're going to have Olympians who are going to be winning them gold medals, and it's going to be coming from our people. And so when I shared that with them, a lot of people were really interested to hear, really what I was talking about. So having that opportunity to share with them was something I'm very fortunate and grateful for. And just really moving into the res ball question, we have those people who have those natural abilities, but may not have played anywhere outside of their reserve or outside of their, their nation or their high school team on their nation. And so now there's a whole circuit of tournaments on different First Nations and different cities, that bring these players together, and you can see a lot of the natural ability. You can see a lot of the work ethic, and you can see a lot of people who are just driven, and they don't care. One of the things I love is, when I do go to tournaments like that, there's a lot of people that know what I've done in terms of my basketball career. But what I love so much about res ball is anybody who's in front of me, they don't give a crap. They want to destroy me as much as I want to destroy them. And that's that mentality of res ball. It's like that in soccer, it's like that in hockey. I've seen that. It don't matter. And our people are tough as nails. So when we go out to compete, we just have, man, I don't even know. We might have to dub it the res mentality. Or I don't know.
Yeah, for real. And I saw you drop 30 on my cousin Denzel once, and I was like, all right, this guy's the GOAT.
Yeah. Speaking of the GOAT, who's the GOAT? If you had to take LeBron James or Michael Jordan, who's the basketball GOAT and why?
Honestly, this is the thing, is I grew up watching Michael Jordan, and a lot of people grew up watching LeBron. And so LeBron is their GOAT. For me, Jordan is it, because Kobe, I'll tell you why. Okay.
All right. Tell us.
Jordan is the most clutch player. Now here's the thing. Before everyone gets all upset here, just hear me out. So Jordan had a mentality that Kobe mimicked. Kobe's game was modeled after Jordan. So Kobe called it Mamba mentality. But if you watch the Jordan Netflix doc, Jordan's mentality was just I don't care who you are, I'm going to destroy you, dismantle you, so you never want to play the game again. Okay, now stay with me here. Kobe modeled that. Okay, Jordan was kind of the originator of that. But all of you guys and kids don't even know about Bill Russell. So why is Bill Russell not even in the conversation when he has more rings than all of these guys combined? So when we talk about generations, one of the things I love that Jordan also said, why I hold him in such high regard, is he says, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Bill Russell, if it wasn't for Kareem. So he gave acknowledgement to the players that came before him. So that's why I love Jordan. Now, here's the other thing. Kobe for his era. Now, LeBron, I do not I respect everything that he's done. And what's crazy is, who knows, at the end of his career, he might be leading in every single stat category, which is almost insane. So there's no disrespect to LeBron, what he's done. But when we talk about mentality, I've got to watch LeBron when he was in Miami. And if you watch him in games, his mentality is not the same as Jordan or Kobe. But in no way am I discrediting what LeBron has done for the game or how great he is, but in terms of the mentality. Now, this is another thing that I'll tell you about players in general. I've played with some phenomenal athletes, okay? Some phenomenal athletes. And where they get challenged is when they play against somebody who's as athletic as them, because now it's like an even match. And what is why LeBron, in my case, of course, his dedication to training and his everything that he's doing without discredit, one of the things why he's able to do what he does is because there's nobody built like him. And that's just genetics. So how do you stop somebody who's 6'8", 260 that can do it all? But if you had another person who was 6'8", 260, now we're talking a different story. How many players was Jordan going against that were the same height or weight as him? And he was still able to do what he did. Same thing with Kobe. So anyways, this is the age-old conversation that everyone's always going to be fighting about. And it's just my opinion. And I know people think otherwise, and that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I hold your opinion highest because it's the indigenous GOAT talking about the NBA GOAT. So
yeah, they're both Mikes. I'll give you that. I'm Team LeBron on this. I've been Team LeBron, but I respect your opinion probably a lot more than anybody else's. So if anyone can convince me that LeBron's not the GOAT, it's probably the indigenous GOAT, man. Hey, so you were talking about like players that you come up against that you were like, yo, like, this dude's athletically superior. This dude's like this. This dude's like that. Who's like, give me like a top 2, top 3, like toughest players you've ever had to play against, like in a res tourney, in the World Finals. Like, just give me like 3 guys that that gave you a challenge.
Okay, so I have never, ever, ever seen or played against anybody who was as dominant as Bill. Will is just like. Because I started going to men's tournaments when I was in grade 10 and 11. And so when I was 10, 11, 12, and I'm playing against guys who were D1, who were pros, who were, wicked players down south, I guess that was my version of AAU ball. But watching Bill in his prime, like, my goodness, like, just scary, unstoppable. And a lot of people don't know, but he had, he played in the summer league when Kobe was 17. So he played with the Lakers and he played with Kobe. So he had that ability, in terms of being out there. But his story is that they put him as a 2 guard. He was really they put him as a 1 guard. He's really a 2 guard. So, but in terms of other players, that's a tough one. On the World Tour, I didn't really see. The thing with the World Tour is I didn't really find anybody who was, really somebody that I guess challenged me. Now that sounds bad. I don't want to say it. I mean, because there's so many switches in 3x3, you don't always have the same person in front of you. So there's a number of NBA players who were playing 3x3, and having a go at them was a lot of fun. But there's been a couple even res ball tourneys where there's just guys who are just tough as nails and they don't care, and they make the game tough. So I don't know, it's hard to say. But Bill, for me, being there one-on-one, like seeing it. Actually, there was another pro, Tim Wynn, used to play for the Saskatchewan Hawks back in the day. Tough, mind you. I was still in high school though, but man, that was tough.
Yo, how's that, bro? Like,
there's so many people out there that taught me stuff, and they always say this. And man.
I was just gonna say,
bro. My bro wanted me to give him a shout out. Rooster wanted me to give him a shout out today. So
shout out Rooster, bro. How's that, bro? Because like, not that you like turned into a meme, but like everybody, when you roll up at a ball tournament, every time you're playing basketball, they're like, they're trying to like not clown you, but like come at you and like, like make jokes like, oh, I could guard you. Like, I even sent you a video one time. I was like sitting on the court. I was like, Uncle's 30 years ago, I was tying my shoes, and I was like, man, back in my prime, like I locked up Linklater with ease, bro. Like dropped 20 on his head. Like, do you just kind of like roll with it and laugh? Like, it's good res humor, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. And that's what makes it fun, being able to go out there and compete, go at each other, and then joke around at the end of the game. Like that's really what it's all about. Because, I feel like next, because my son's getting to the age where I want to start taking him to tournaments now, but I just really had no desire to pick up the ball. But now that I'm starting to get back into it, so you might see us out as soon as COVID's all done. Be out father-son duo.
Hey, that might be ice cold, man. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, man. There's just a lot of people. It's just good, like good people. There's so much good people out on the tourney trail. It's a lot of fun just to connect with people and catch up. I just have a lot of respect for so many of our people. One, for what they're doing, but two, for just always, being who they are and over the amount of time. And that's something that, I take a page out of their books and just continue to stay on your path and do what's, important for you.
For sure, bro. For sure. Well, I'm going to see if anyone's got some fan questions really quickly. We'll take maybe one or two really quickly if you guys want to send them in. Ask the GOAT of Indigenous basketball, man. Clutch moments, maybe. Hey, do you ever hit like a nasty game winner, 3-pointer for the win?
Yeah, we were playing in league there's been a few. There's been some we were playing in a tournament in BC this one time, and I had this well, actually it was 2 refs, and I never blame the refs, and I never ever it's sometimes refs can be frustrating, but I don't blame refs for losses. So anyways, we're playing in this game. We're down probably 10, and every single time I go to the basket, I'm getting just hacked. And right in front of the ref, I literally got clotheslined in front of the ref one time, and he just looked at me and told me to get up. And so when he said that, I was just like, oh man. I was like, okay. So then we went into the timeout, and I just told the guys, I was like, hey, F this. I was like, I'm going to work. So I came down and I just hit, I don't know how many threes in a row. Bang, 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 bang. All of a sudden,
it got personal.
And it's over.
Damn.
So
that's ice cold, man. I've seen that personally, bro. I actually, I don't know if you remember when you rolled up into MB that one time when we were playing in the MB league. And I'm pretty sure we had 4 or 5 guys to start, bro. And I was shook. We were playing in the top team in the league. And we're down 18 or 20, bro. And I'm on the bench freaking out. I'm like, bro, what are we going to do, man? We're down. And Linklater's sitting there almost just sat back in his chair, cool as a cucumber. He's like, don't worry about it, man. We got this. All of a sudden, he's still chilling. And I'm like, all right, turn it on, bro. When are you going to hit the magic? And then all of a sudden, it's just a snap of your finger, man. All of a sudden, boom, hits a 3, runs down, chases out the inbound, gets a steal, comes back to the 3-point line, hits. All of a sudden, we're up 6 or 8 points within 2 minutes, bro. Is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. That's wild, bro. There's so many obviously legend on the 3-on-3, legend in for the CEBL, legend for FIBA, but there's some res stories that people still tell to this day, bro. There's a 50 piece, I think 55 in the final at Sagawau. I remember back in the day, bro. That must have been 09 or 10, bro. I was 14 years old. I remember I rolled up to the watching, bro. I had no clue who you were. That was the first time I ever saw you, and you dropped 55, bro. Hold up. We're trying to oh yeah, here we go. We got a first question. How was your relationship with Siobhan Glover on the championship team? You guys good homies?
Yeah, our relationship was good. We started, we weren't super close, tight, chatting every day. Me personally, I'm a very kind of keep to myself kind of guy. I have a lot of friends and acquaintances, but in terms of really close friends, my inner circle is very small. So Sharon was the same type of guy. He was just very to himself. But what I recognized was, when we were playing in preseason, I recognized that there was a few times where I was wide open and he would look me off, and so I was thinking about it. No, for real. I was like, what? I'm like, dude, I'm wide open. The right play is to hit me because I'm open, not because I want the ball or I need my points. No, it's just the right play is you hit the open person. So instead of hitting me, I noticed that he was taking it himself and trying to get buckets, which I knew the year before he didn't really. I guess he did have supporting cast, but he wanted to really do it himself. So I pulled him aside and I said, I gave him a call. I said, hey, we need to have a chat. Meet me in the team room at this day, blah, blah, blah. So we sat there and I just said, hey, I was like, man, I feel like you're looking me off, blah, blah, blah. I said, you are going to be the reason we win this championship. If you're in or if you're out. I said, so I just need to know what's going on. And then he just opened up to me. He said, you know what? He goes, a lot of my family and friends back home, because he's from Sunnyside, California, Fresno. A lot of people think I'm a joke for coming up here to Canada to play ball. So like, I need to prove to them that I can score buckets here and blah, blah, blah. I said, I hear you, man. He's like, and I want to go pro. So we just connected in that sense. And I said, listen, when we get to the national finals, like that's where people are going to see you and you're going to take off from there. I said, so we need you invested. So yeah, we were definitely close. We got along well.
Nice, bro. Okay, we got one more here. What inspired you to start Boys with Braids? What was the quick inspiration?
Clayton, how you doing, man? So the inspiration and what was behind that, when I was a kid, I had my hair pulled, I was teased. Something that I dealt with, and I wanted to cut my hair as a kid because I was being teased. And I remember going home telling my mom, I want to cut my hair. And she told me not to. She said, don't cut your hair. She said, you'll thank me when you get older. And so I didn't. And sure enough, I thanked her when I got older. Excuse me. And then I started my family, and my boys both have long hair. And so when my firstborn came home and he told me the exact same thing, I was devastated. And my youngest son, he came home and told me the same thing. And then seeing on social media how many other families were struggling with the same thing that my sons were struggling with, that I struggled with, I was just thinking, something needs to be done, and we need to provide, a voice for these young men. So Boys with Braids was created, and it was really what it was, a gathering. So a lot of people don't know, but the first gathering, I had my late father have a pipe ceremony, and that pipe ceremony was able to give Boys with Braids its own spirit and its own identity. And for that, it's being able to take on its own life, where any different community that wants to host a gathering and use role models within their community and give teachings from their territory, from their elders, are able to have these gatherings. And it's just really the main focus is to encourage these young men to continue on their path, on their journey, as well as to educate the general public about why we grow our hair and the significance, as well as to let people know that, this is something a lot of our guys struggle with. And that's really where it came from. So, yeah, great question. And I see that, I remember, if I recall correctly, I think I remember you on the soccer circuit, Clayton, and I think you had some short hair, and now you got some nice thick ones. So that's
Hey, bro, for real, much respect. If you ever want some help with the Boys with Braids, I will definitely help, man. I want to help as much as I can, like, for sure, man. Because same thing, like, exact same story that you got, I got it too. Same thing. It's very, very similar in terms of like long hair and wanting to cut it. Same thing. My mom said, don't cut it. And here I am. And I just love seeing the trend of more and more Indigenous men growing their hair out long now, like regardless of their age. They're like 30 years old and finally growing out their hair. And I'm like, for sure, man, let's go. It's good to see. I have a fan question because I'm personally a fan. So
we're big fans over here, Mike.
Big fan. Yeah, in case you didn't know. Yeah. So, like, what was the mindset of you, and like, I guess in terms of like, was there ever a time when you felt scared of like a crunch time moment, like a clutch moment, and like just like how you had to persevere and push through that, or how you did, and like, was there like a time when you were like, it just switched and you're just like, what, I can do anything. I embraced the clutch, because I personally kind of went through the same thing, like playing with volleyball. Like the first couple of years, I was like, there'd be times when I'd be like, the score's like 23, and like I gotta go on. I'm like, come on, man, I don't want to go on, kind of thing. It's like I don't want it to be my fault. But like suddenly something just clicked this year. I think it's like all the MJ videos I watch. Not even gonna lie, like I watch like whenever I go to bed, MJ's on YouTube, and like I look up MJ mindset and whatnot, and like it just clicked where like I just embrace it, and I want to be the guy who scores, or like I want to be the reason we win, and like I have no problem with that. And like tell us about like your story regarding that.
Yeah, that's a good question. If I grew up watching Michael Jordan, and I just felt like I could relate to him, and I almost felt like I embodied his game. Mind you, I was a whole foot shorter than him. But in terms of that mentality, I've always had that. And what I recognized is that when I was first starting out, I had those same fears too. Like, oh, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up. And the reality of that, and this just goes for life, is whatever we tell ourselves becomes the reality. And so if we focus on not messing up, our focus is messing up. And so then that's what happens. So when we put that in our heads, it becomes the reality. And for me, playing basketball and having those opportunities to be in the clutch moment, just like Kobe, just like Jordan said, which where they're like some of the greatest players to ever play, is because they want that shot. And the reason they want that shot is because they've prepared themselves countless times to take that shot. So they have the confidence to be able to take those and want it. And it's something that I did and that I pride myself on, was making sure that I was prepared. And I wanted to make sure that I did everything more than anybody else, whether it was more running, whether it was more lifting, whether it was more time in the gym, whether it was more shots, whether it was dribbling more, anything. The more I did it, the better I could become. So as you do repetition, and it's probably coming within your career in terms of where you are within the phase of your career, you know, where you're stepping into that role as the guy where you do want to take that shot. You've been playing the game long enough, you've had enough reps at it, and now it's the mentality where it's switched to where it's like, no, I want this. You know, I can do this, and you know that it's going to happen, and that's what you've done. And you've done it over and over and over. And that's what I tell younger guys when I'm playing with them, is I just say, listen, you played this game how many times? It's the same game. You know, so just like what he mentioned there about our tournament, and I'm just chilling on the bench. Yeah, we got this. Don't worry. Yeah. Prepared, so I know what needs to happen there. So yeah.
That's nice though. Not everyone's got the Mike Link switch that just goes on. You know what I mean?
And then real quick to add on to that, where Jordan and Kobe prepared to take those shots, which is why they hit them. Now I just want to bring it into a little bit of LeBron here, where LeBron wants to make the right play. And he looks for guys who are open, and he relies on his guys to hit those shots. Sometimes they don't. And then who gets the blame is LeBron. See, so that's just the difference, is where Kobe and Jordan, 99% of the time, they're taking those shots. You know, I think Jordan passed it to Kerr one time, who hit the shot and they won. And I think Kobe passed it to Artest one time. He hit the shot and won. You know, so those both led to championships. But, you know, it's just preparing. And there's the old saying, and I'm sure you guys have heard it, but failing to prepare is preparing to fail. So if you fail to do your job in terms of getting ready for that game, really what you're doing is preparing to lose that game. So it's just that mentality. So if you put those shots in every single night, if you get those reps in every single night, then you've prepared yourself. And if you don't do that, then you're still preparing yourself, but you're just preparing to lose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's facts.
That is facts. Well, bro, I know you're a busy guy, man. I know that, you know, you came on here, you gave us some great information, and we want to thank you. What we usually do, bro, towards the end is we just like to pop our guest up on the screen. They can just give a little word of encouragement, just whatever you're up to, whatever you want to talk about, bro. We'll give you a minute or two, and yeah, we'll let you do that. Hold up one sec. There you go, sir.
Whoa, what am I supposed to do here? There's just me. Where'd you guys go?
Oh yeah. So bro, just give them a quick message, you know, like people that are listening back home, man. Maybe if you just want to give a word of encouragement, if you want to tell them what you're up to, bro. We just leave the screen up to you for about a minute or two, or however long you want, bro. Sing a song even.
20 seconds. It's up to you, bro.
Much love.
Okay, no, I guess what I would want to share with everybody is, it's really important that you be mindful of what you're telling yourself. Whatever you think about yourself becomes reality. So when you're sitting there thinking you can't do something, you're absolutely right. And this is what I tell my kids all the time, is if you think that you can't do something, you're 100% right, and you cannot do it, because that is what you believe. And so for people that think negative things about themselves, you know, that becomes the reality. So what we need to do is just start thinking, and this is like we mentioned earlier within this podcast, is that we have to start thinking that we can do the things, and we have to believe that we can do and prepare ourselves to do them. Because once we start telling ourselves the good things that it can happen, and I think we've struggled so much with that as Indigenous people, where we've been oppressed to be told that we can't do certain things. We have to break through that ceiling and just do what we really want to do. So tell ourselves, so being mindful of really what we're sharing with ourselves, because, we don't have a conversation with anybody more than ourselves. So be kind. Does that work?
Oh, sorry.
Hey,
Yeah, that
there we
works.
go, brother.
Hey, there
Sorry
we go.
about that, bro. We're still getting the hang of the buttons and stuff like that. And,
We're new.
yeah, bro. Hey, you got to come through again, bro. We're gonna schedule something for you to come through, bro. When you can come in, give us a little bit more. But it was great to have you, bro. Obviously, big inspiration to both of us, bro. Being college athletes, you don't really get that. You don't see too many people that like get to that point, and then start once they get like college, right? There's levels, right? And to see someone go to college and then university, and then all of a sudden you're winning a chip, and then you're going to bigger heights and bigger heights. It gets us hungry, it gets us motivated, and it gives us somebody to look up to. So thank you for giving us that, brother.
Appreciate that. One thing I want to tell both you guys, and I'm sure you're already mindful of this, but there's a lot of little guys who are looking up to you and what you guys are doing. So you guys make sure that you take the time to reach out to that young guy after a game and say hi and take the time, because what that's going to do for those guys is they're going to follow into your footsteps, and they're going to want to aspire to be like you guys. And of course, the same thing with all of our female athletes who are doing the same thing. We just got to make sure that we're taking that time to acknowledge the next generation, because they're the ones who are going to be, sitting here, because, I'm proud of you guys. I really am. I see what you guys have been doing, and it's just amazing and inspiring to see, because, like my kids look up to you guys too, as, college athletes, like you said. So, it means the world to a young kid when you just take that little bit of time and just say hi to them, because they might be the next you guys.
Hey, bro, for sure. Thanks, man.
Hey, and there's gonna be people that come along, bro, but it's like that Wayne Gretzky thing, man. We're still waiting on the next GOAT. It might be, hopefully it's your son, bro, because I don't see anyone else Indigenous stepping up to the plate, bro. But once again, man, thank you for coming through, bro, and much love, brother.
Yeah, bro, for sure. And yeah, man. Hopefully, I'll see you on the court. I'm starting to get into basketball a lot more lately. I've been playing 2K, so take it easy on my ankles, bro. Take it easy on my ankles. I got that ankle.
I appreciate that. Just make sure you link my IG handle, Michael_Linklater, and people can get at me on there.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna post that in the comments right now. MICHEL
AEL.
AEL. Yeah, bro. Like the GOAT spell. Michael
Appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, give him a follow. Give him some love. Peace out, Link. Thank you for coming. All Indigenous GOAT, bro. Peace. Hey, that was lit. Man. Damn.
That's dope. That was crazy.
Yeah, man. We're super, super. Man, when you think about Michael Linklater, it's like he's just a step above everybody else, man. Honest to God, not a lot of people can do what he does and do it so gracefully and still be able to give back and come through. And he's never too big to come, take a picture with. He's never too big to come to the res tourneys with. He's always that guy that's kind of in there doing it, so he's been very inspirational to me, man. I actually texted him. This is a funny story, man. So I texted him maybe 2 or 3 months ago, because I've been trying to see where I'm at, potentially with college. And afterwards, I want to be able to reach the next level. I want to go where he's going. I think River kind of feels the same way too, because there are opportunities out there for us, man. And I haven't got to the point yet where Michael was talking about his mindset a little bit, and it's like that mindset where when you're tired, that's when you work the hardest, Sometimes I'm there, but it's not a consistent effort. You could probably say the same, sometimes it's easier to kind of fold in that pressure. And for him, which is crazy, that's where he gets better. That's where he starts to evolve. That's where it makes him more hungry, which is it's an animal thing, man. That's That's crazy.
That's that Jordan mentality, and that's why he's the GOAT, bro.
Hey, I don't even want to get into the GOAT discussion with you, bro. You know what, man? We've been doing this for probably about 3 weeks now. We are so like very grateful about everyone that's been coming through, man. It feels like we got a big family behind us, doesn't it?
Bro, for real.
It's crazy because like people will message us and be like, hey, like that podcast was dope, or hey, I just watched that the next day, or hey, that that made me think about something. And or people will come up to us or message us the next day, and they'll pull a little small part about the podcast, and we'll remember it and we'll talk about it, and it's like, man, maybe we're onto something here, like something special is happening here, man. And it's all because of you guys for tuning in, for making us feel special, and just giving us that support. Because I don't know, man, I get nervous sometimes, bro. What about you?
Bro, like before this, man, my hands were clammy.
Yeah.
I was shaking. I was like, what are we gonna do?
And we keep talking to people that are huge. Like look at the people we've interviewed, man. Joey Styles, like pretty much like the coolest dude that we ever knew growing up, man. And then we talked about ourselves, and then we had fun in Dallas with like the most like blessed audio I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
Me and River were behind here like freaking out, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, bro, I got goosebumps. And then we get Michael Linklater.
And then, man,
speaking of huge, bro.
Man. So check this out. So next Sunday we are going live, same time. We'll be here, man. Yo, y'all know like that video that pops up at the start of Foxing Around, bro. That real blessed audio.
Yeah, bro. That exclusive to Foxing Around.
Nobody else has, man. That's Miss Tia Wood, man. And somehow, I don't know how we did it, man. It was a lot of hard work by myself, but
shoot your shot.
Yeah, I shot my shot. So Miss Tia Wood will be joining us in studio Foxing Around next Sunday. We're so very excited. I mean, most people know who Tia Wood is. If you don't know Tia Wood, go find her on Instagram. Go find her on TikTok. Go find her on wherever you need to, and listen to 10 seconds of her music, man, and you will be astonished. So I'm gonna put her at here in the comments. You should go check her out if you haven't already. And she's really cute too, man. I'm gonna have to talk to her.
You think so?
Man, I think she's real beautiful, bro. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna do the link later, bro. I'm gonna hit the shot, man. I'm gonna do it. So
then I shoot my shot.
Yeah.
Sweaty, yeah.
For real. So yeah. Anyways, enough joking around. Tia Wood will be joining us in studio next Sunday, 7 p.m. The next like 3 weeks, we got them all planned. We got our guests lined up. And it's gonna be monumental, man. We're gonna change podcasting forever, man. Honest to God, that's how big I feel about our next couple of guests, man. And even just Mike and Fawn and everyone that's kind of believing in us from the start and letting us coming through here, man. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, bro, it's gonna be monumental, man. It's better put us on the map.
Hey, I think it will, man. I think it will. And you know what's cool? I want to tell you guys, if you guys have any Indigenous, non-Indigenous people that you look up to, people that you think it would be good to interview on the podcast, shoot them a DM. Shoot on behalf of us. Tell them that we're interested. Tell them that we're looking for guests, man. Shoot the DMs. No matter how big, how small, man. We're looking at big people to come in, but we're also looking at people that, maybe don't have as big of a demographic, but they're just as interesting, right? So
yeah, exactly, for real. And at the same time, whenever we announce guests, don't be afraid to DM us a week in advance of questions that you have, because at the end of the day, the way that we look at it is we're just another audience and we're just guests, just like you boys. And just like, I said boys because Dawson Jimmy said Nelk boys. No, we're just some more guests, just like you guys. And we just want to know everything that you guys want to know. You know what I mean? There's nothing that really puts us above you guys. We just have a voice, and we want to voice all of your guys' concerns. And we want to get your guys' questions on all these big names because, yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting.
No doubt. We want, and anyone can come through. Honest to God, man. We're not looking at people from one place. So in particular, everybody needs to come on here eventually, man. And
For
talk
real.
to us a little bit.
Weed, everybody eats.
Yeah, for real, man. That's the thing that like I've been noticing, man. Is like 99% of the people, bro, they're just there to help. A lot of people are there to help. A lot of people just want to see other Indigenous people succeed and just want to give that helping hand, you know. So to see it in real life, because, you know, we grow up in toxic environments, you know what I mean? We see negativity. So when like you got people like Joey Styles, you got people like Fawn in Dallas, you got people like Michael Linklater, you got Tia coming through, you got all of our guests coming through, and they're like believing in what we're doing here. It's like, thank y'all so much, man. That from the bottom of our heart, man, it means a lot. So
yeah.
You want to get into
So
anything,
much.
bro? You got anything you want to talk about?
I mean, I don't know. Let's see here. What did we write down quickly? Shoot.
Shucks. Yeah,
Shoot.
shoot.
Yeah, one thing is I want to say is with this pandemic mindset, man, just wear a mask.
Come
Nobody's infringed a pandemic. It's literally a virus, right? And this is Mother Nature, I guess, expressing herself, and we're just here. And we have to learn from history. Like the Spanish flu, for example, that was 1918 that started.
Yeah.
And a little history on that. They only call it the Spanish flu because that's where some of the cases came up, and they actually wanted to blame the Spanish. But
if you're anti-mask, man, don't come at us.
Please, for real,
just
for
put
real.
it on. Because at the end of the day, what are you doing? You're looking like a fool wearing your mask.
Exactly,
Okay.
it's
not affecting your breathing.
it's not affecting your breathing, and sure, I understand that some people cannot wear masks just due to trauma, and I get that, but then you got your Karens who don't want to wear their mask just because they don't want to wear it. Come on, man, learn from history, wear a mask. Literally, it's not that big of an inconvenience,
bro.
For real.
Did you see, Kate? So this is some, yeah, exactly. Protecting your elders too. Wash your hands, wear a mask, social distance properly. There was a rally today in Saskatoon where these people walked through the entire mall with no masks and were getting super close to people that had masks on, calling them names, putting them down. You know, I'm never going to make fun of people that aren't going to wear a mask. But at the end of the day, man, what are you losing? You're losing a little bit of your face, a minor inconvenience. And who knows, maybe you save somebody's life. So, yeah, exactly. Not everyone has a strong immune system. There's so many things that we could talk about why you need to wear a mask. So if you're anti-mask, you're chapped.
For real, really. Just, man, save a life. Wear a mask. You're not going to die. There ain't no big old conspiracy of someone's infringing your rights and they're going to put chips in our brain next. But, I mean... Yeah. That's another topic we could get into. We'll have a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, we want to talk real weird stuff with you guys sometimes. I hope you guys will tune in for that kind of stuff because we're not going to put ourselves in a box. So we want to talk 10 different things. You know what I mean, man? Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to a friend of ours, Solomon Trimble. Solomon Trimble, man, he's a super smart dude. He's a filmmaker. He's a writer, and I don't know. He was in some weird vampire werewolf movie once upon a time.
What a weird movie!
Yeah, I know. He was I don't know. Somebody didn't go there or something. I don't remember his line. I mean, but Solomon Trimble is the man. Okay, this guy reached out to us, man. He's been helping us get our lighting proper. He's been helping us get our mic sound right. And he'll sit there and talk to us about stuff that we had no idea about. And he's super supportive.
He's so super interesting. We honestly have to get on a podcast with that guy because even today we were just, we were doing a mic check and everything. And we're talking and it's only supposed to be 45 minutes, right? And it ended up turning into 2.5, 3 hours of us just talking. And that's kind of why we were struggling to get our green screen on. It's that guy has so much knowledge and he's so funny. He's just a genuinely down to earth, nice guy.
Yeah, we got a lot of love for Solomon Trimble, and we're gonna get him on the podcast very, very soon. So
very soon.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What else could we talk about, bro? You guys got any fan questions, man? Hey, thank you so much. If you guys got any fan questions for us, or you guys just want to pop in here a little bit, yeah, Pepsi is honestly everywhere. We need to get a Pepsi sponsorship. We are actively looking for a Pepsi. Scholarship. So, man, Solomon just texted me and said he's in Facebook jail. So I don't know what he said or what he did, but he got one of them little 24-hour bans. He's got the best memes. Solomon Trimble has the best memes. Be safe. Shout out from Gitsagukla. Hey, you guys should start a Pepsi pyramid in the back.
Yo,
Yeah.
actually, shit. Do you think we'd be able to pull up that Pepsi commercial?
Hey, all right. We're gonna try to do something really quickly here. Hold up. You guys gotta give us a second. Hold up. Okay.
Entire screen.
All right, there we go. We're gonna go
open the
somewhere.
Google Drive.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. Drive. Hold up.
Drive.
You guys gotta give us. I hope you guys are still here. If you guys left, that's okay too. But
yeah. So basically, me and my teammates, the Walking Bear boys, we made a Pepsi commercial for an assignment, and we thought, why not show it on the podcast, right? So we're gonna try to get that for you. See how it goes.
there we go. All right, here goes. We'll go. Oh. Hey, that's jokes. I don't know if you guys got to see that, but that was jokes, dude. That's hilarious. Yeah, we'll drop the link for you. Oh, the sound didn't come in too well. Sorry, no sound. All right, we're gonna play that back for you guys on a later date. So we got you. We'll drop the link. It's very cool.
Yeah, I promised the boys that I'd throw it on. So.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Walking Bear boys. Shout out. Who else was in there, bro? Pretty much your whole team. Shout out team with Coach Ryan, man.
Man, that guy's a gem. That guy
Hey,
is
shout out.
a
Hello
gem.
from Sweetgrass, Saskatchewan. Hey, man, welcome. That's my home community, man. There is some COVID going on right now. There's some high cases, man. So first to everybody back in my home community at Sweetgrass First Nation, man. I'm thinking about all you guys, praying for you guys daily. You guys will do it together. We'll do it together, right? As a community together. So it looked lit, but no sound, man. Oh, well, it happens. All right, fan questions. Anyone got something real quick before we go on and skedaddle? Bro, I can't believe we got Kia Wood for next week.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
I can't believe I got so much homework to do tonight.
Yeah, seriously, we got some homework to do. No season, though. That kind of sucks. So we're kind of like, I'm done training. My team's kind of turned it into voluntary. So I'll be probably finishing up my term here, and then I'm going to head back home, man. I think it's about time, but we're adjusting really well. Man, this podcast is so fun, man. Let's see what. Hold up. Oops. Yeah, no audio. Look lit. All right, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much it. Tune in next Sunday. Oh, there we go. When can we expect merch, man? Hey, we got mock-ups coming in the next like 2 or 3 days, and then we'll be able to give you guys like a release on when it's coming out, and it'll be dope. Oh, this one's good. Macaroni and wieners or macaroni and hamburger?
Hamburger.
Yeah, hamburger too. Yeah, hamburger. Yeah, sorry, we're a little too bougie for cut up wieners, but
Yeah.
No, those are cool. All right, so next Sunday, come join us in the Foxing Around studio. We're gonna be live 7 p.m. Miss Tia Wood will be coming through, giving us some songs, giving us some teachings, giving us some hopefully man, that'd be cool if she'll sing all of her songs. Like, you know, the one little snappy. Man, that one bangs, bro. They all bang. They're amazing. They're amazing. Tia's amazing. All right, man.
Tia's amazing.
Yeah, for real. Well, without further ado, man, we're out. Thank you guys for joining us. We had a good time, man.
Oh, yo, yeah, and for real, and this T-shirt, shout out Olivia Kovaci, I believe. She gave me this T-shirt a couple years ago, and this is like the comfiest, nicest, form-fitting tee. She's down in the U.S. She makes a lot of music as well. Yeah, we're trying to wear as much Indigenous clothing as we can on this podcast to give the people exposure, because at the end of the day, it's Indigenous supporting Indigenous, right? And we want small businesses to get up there. That's what I mean by when we eat, everybody eats. We want everybody to succeed.
Yeah, message
Everyone.
us, man. If y'all got some clothing brands that you guys find tight, man, we're more than willing to get some merch off of them. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, well, bro, you got a Pepsi handy?
Bro, what kind of question is that?
Yeah, let's go, bro.
Let's go.
Oh, peace.